Alright, I got my my wiper motor. Decided to go with one of the cheap $50 wiper motors. And I put the masonite back here in the windshield frame so I could get some kind of idea where the glass is going to be. So I'm trying to find a spot to put the motor, and what I'm finding is originally the blade is parallel to the arm. So what I did was I stuck it in the vise and I bent it. I heated it up with a torch and I bent it. So now when it's, so instead of the wiper blade being straight like this and still in my windshield, and it would wipe like that, I bent it so that I could set it so it'll be parallel with the top of the frame here. So when it wipes, it'll wipe like that. Now the problem is, you can see as this goes through its sweep, the blade is coming off the windshield down here, and I can move it up just a little bit more, but that's about it right there. The blade's coming off, and I've got a lot of room up here. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to move the blade this way so it wouldn't hit down here, and it would wipe more windshield up this side. So what I did was I ground off the end of this. Has a rivet through it. So I took the Dremel tool and I just ground just a little bit of the rivet off so I could get this off. And then what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to drill another hole in here, a little bit further down, so I can get, I think, so what I'm going to end up with is that it'll clear the bottom of the windshield. Let me see if I can hold it where I punched it. It's going to be kind of like that, and it'll go like this. So I may have to extend it just a hair. Oops, I took the spring out. Okay, that goes there. This goes here. And it's going to be right about like that. So it's still doing 90 degrees. I'll have to move it down a little more. I'm trying to play with an area to see where it's going to, this end of the wiper blade is going to be close to the top of the windshield, and the bottom of the windshield blade down here won't run off the windshield at the bottom. So I'm just playing with it just to see if I can find a spot. See, like that ain't too bad right there, because at the furthest point it's only about a ½ inch away from the top, and it's about a ½ inch away from the bottom. So I think it's going to go right about there. So I'm going to drill another hole in here. So it'll be offset. There'll be very little this way and a lot this way as far as where it's holding. It'll be like that instead of in the middle. And I'm hoping what's not going to happen is it's not going to put enough pressure over here. It's going to be unevenly balanced, because the wiper is going to be here. It's going to be pushing hard on this blade, but this is so far away from there, it may not push, and I may not get much wiping action off that. So I don't know. But I got I bought two extra blades with the wiper, so I got one to screw around and experiment with once I get it right and it'll work, so that it'll kind of like that, and not hit anywhere here or up here, and it'll wipe the most windshield. I think that's where I'll set it and see what happens. And tomorrow tomorrow's my day off, I plan on taking the windshield frame to the glass company and getting a piece of glass cut for it. I may just take one of the doors too and have them put make up a couple of door glass pieces. Picked up a battery for it today. That's what's nice about having so much junk. I can sell stuff off to raise money if I need it. But that's what I'm doing now. Just playing with the wiper blades and seeing. Here's another one. And seeing if I can get something that'll sit like this and come down and do that. And when it rests, it's out of the way. I don't want it sitting like that. And I don't want it sitting like that. I want it out of the way. So we'll see what I can come up with. Alright, drilled the hole, got the motor mounted, got the shaft, but I have to trim this side of the wiper blade, because if it's on a 90, when this comes up like that, okay, 90 degrees from that would be there. So when that goes to there, I got about 3/4 of an inch of the blade. It's going to be hitting up here. So I got to trim this side of the blade. It misses the bottom here by about maybe 3/16 of an inch. So I think that's going to be good, right there. Now I only bought one. I plan on putting another one over there. But for now, just so I can get a sticker and get this thing on the road, I'm gonna run with one. That's how it's gonna be. It's right about there, and it's right. And I'm sitting. I went inside. I sat, and I figured about where I'm going to be actually looking through this windshield. And I think that'll work like that. Looks weird with this extra wide car here, the windshield's really wide. But yeah, this is going to work. Just got to trim off about 3/4 of an inch off of that. And I just hit that with the grinding, with a wheel cutter, and then just file the little flashing on the end. Cuts it like in seconds. So all set with that. All right, what I got now is this is gonna be sitting in the hole like up in there like that, and this is the a tab that you run a bolt through to keep this from turning, so it kind of locks it. So I took this little piece of steel, and I drilled a hole and threaded it. Then I took a bolt and I threaded it into the steel, but I didn't come all the way through. It was only catching by one thread, because you can see it's real thin. And then I put a nut to hold it. So then I took the MIG welder and I welded the bolt to the plate and ground it flush. So now that it becomes a stud and it's not going to turn. Then I took the wheel cutter and I cut off the head of the bolt. Chamfered the edge a little bit with a grinder. And then I had the nut, and I left the nut on there for a purpose, to help chase the threads, that when you grind it off you might screw some of the threads up. So then I just took a wrench, unthreaded the nut, and it rolled all the threads back into shape. So now I got a plate with a stud, and what I'm going to do is, when that's mounted up inside there, this is going to go like that. Well, it'll actually be like, this. Okay. And then I'll just tack weld this to up in here, so it'll go in like that, and then I can put a nut there, and that'll lock this from trying to rotate while the wipers are moving. So that's this piece. This piece will go probably right around there. Where It'll be probably about that far away from the hole. And I may have to trim the edges, you know, they're a little bit longer, because if they hit something on the inside, like they're too high close to the ceiling, I can trim it and then just spot weld it. And that's what I'm working on right now. Okay, got it, that's in. It's not tightened down yet because I have to pull this off. And once I get the motor running, I got to find where the park position is and then set the arm up there and when it's in park. But on the inside, that's it up there. I gotta grind this weld a little bit. Looks like crap, but anyways, yeah. Now I'll just run. I run the wires from here. I don't know what I'm gonna run them. Maybe I can try to tie them into. Put a hole in here and run it down in the door post, or I can run them along there. Seeing how the fuse panel was over there, maybe I can run it along that way and then down that post. But the problem is the switch is going to be on this side, so I don't know yet. Haven't decided. I'll probably run them to the driver's side and just run the power from over there, from the panel over to this side to the switch, and then run those switch wires up to it. But okay, so the wiper's kind of in. I'm going to take the windshield frame to the people tomorrow, and I think I'm going to take a door too. Tell them make me up 2 pieces of glass for the doors, and I think for the quarter windows in the back window, I'm not ready yet for the quarter windows, because you can see the difference in height. I still might change that size. I'm not sure. I may raise the top of that quarter window up to match the door window. So in other words, you know, right there matches that height, so I got to move that up, because I am pretty sure I'm going to move this part, the lower part of the door window, up to match that, and that'll actually make the chop look more, you know, because the window opening will be smaller. And the back window, I don't know, I probably could give them the dimensions on that too and glue that in, or I could just get some plexiglass for that, or not Luan, Lexan. It's a little bit harder stuff than plexiglass. And so it's coming along. Got the new battery today. I got the wiper in. If I was hoping that I could get all the gauges in, including the speedometer, but tomorrow's my day off, so I'm gonna do the glass run, and then I'm gonna put in the gauges that I can and wire them in. I don't need the speedometer for that. I'll double check the wiring as good as I can. I mean, I really don't know, I'm not that sure. Even if it says it's red goes to the screw B, I'm not sure what it does, so I have to trust the manufacturer. And maybe we'll get this thing started up with the keys on the steering column this week. That would be so awesome. That would be so awesome. Because that means bleed the brakes, bleed the clutch, and drive it up and down the driveway. Yeehaw. Alright, well, let's get out here and look at the outside again. I think that looks pretty good. I like how it bent. I like that, because it's not tightened up, so I can actually do the swing. See? Now that's past 90 degrees. 90 degrees is right about there. If you go from here to that way, here to that way. So 90 degrees is like right here. So go down to there. That's about 90, and you see it doesn't touch. So that's pretty much the sweep right there. I think that'll look good. You know? And then later on I'll get the second motor and I'll put it in over there. That'd be kind of neat too. Yep, mosquitoes are starting to come out. It's dark out. The light is attracting them. Okay, I got some more work to do. And we'll see if we can get this video on tonight. Cool.